Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. Today I have with me Nicole de Lara Puente. She is the CEO of Live Like Bella, an amazing charity that does research and things for childhood cancer. And you've only been around since 2013, but done amazing things since that time. So welcome and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Gloria. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So before we start, I have to thank South Florida PBS. South Florida PBS is our sponsor every single week, and we couldn't be happier. And they've got a big thing going on. Have you been to the Da Vinci exhibit?
I want to go.
It's in Boynton Beach. It is pretty amazing, and it's running through April. So if you get a chance to go, and it's great to take kids there. It's a wonderful learning experience. It's a couple hours, and it's very affordable. And so get a chance, and I'm sure you're a member. And when you're a member, you get one of these magazines once a month, and tells you everything that's going on. So, thank you, Jenny and Dolores and everybody at South Florida PBS. So let's start. You've got so much going on, but first of all, you have a 5K coming up.
We do.
So let's talk about that.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't take advantage and share a little bit with you.
Oh, yeah,
with
you
our
could
viewers,
talk
a little
about
bit about
why.
Live Like Bella.
Why?
Yeah, a little bit of the start with the why, right?
Okay, the why.
So Live Like Bella was founded here in Miami, named after a little girl named Bella Rodriguez Torres. Bella was diagnosed with a rare pediatric cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma when she was 4 years old. And she was given just a few weeks and a few months to live, but the author of life had a different plan, and Bella battled cancer for 6 years. And in that time, her story stole the hearts of this community. She was just a little girl that everybody prayed for. And she had a surgery a couple of months before she passed at MD Anderson in Houston. And her mom was on Facebook and she gave an update. She said, Bella's out of surgery now. She's doing very well, but she can't go out today and play. Why don't you go out today and honor her and wear red, take a bubble bath, ride It's a Small World, eat s'mores. And she made a list of things Bella loved to do. And then at the bottom, she wrote, #Live Like Bella. Fast forward the night of Bella's passing in May of 2013, the Miami Heat was playing in an NBA conference final, and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade asked the team to write #Live Like Bella on their shoes. And then her story went viral. Fast forward 12 years later, Live Like Bella is across every state in the country and in 38 countries. So a little girl right here from our community that we just prayed for stole the hearts of the community and now the world. And today, Live Like Bella does three things. We have sort of three lines of service, if you will. The first piece, which you mentioned, is to help advocate and fund for childhood cancer research. There's very little funding in childhood cancer. 80% of children present stage 4. So pharmaceutical companies and researchers don't have budgets to provide treatments for them. So that was a big priority for Bella's family when they started the foundation. And today, through a partnership with the Department of Health, Live Like Bella is funding 66 clinical trials in Florida in childhood cancer research, which is unheard of. So there's the research piece. Then the bread and butter of our day-to-day is what we refer to as in-treatment support. When a child is diagnosed with cancer, very often a parent has to stop working. And, basic needs like paying rent, electricity, transportation to and from the hospital, et cetera, becomes expensive. So Live Like Bella steps in to help cover the cost of those basic needs for families while their children are undergoing treatment. And then the third of the three lines of service is that, God forbid, a child pass of cancer, Live Like Bella has the privilege to help the families pay for funerals, memorials, headstones, burials, et cetera. So that's our memorial support program.
Wow.
So that's a little bit about
all inclusive, but that's just, I had no idea it had grown that large.
Unfortunately.
I do remember, when we talked about this, I remember going to an event at the Coral Gables Women's Club, and it was early on, and not a lot of people knew about it, and it was jam-packed with people, and I go, this is nuts.
That was Bella.
Yeah.
That was
Bella. Yeah, I was so impressed at that time, So what an amazing little girl.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
So now, to fund all this stuff that you're doing, you do several things, but you the first thing coming up is the 5K.
Yes, we have our superhero 5K that this year will be held on Saturday, February 8th at Tropical Park, which is one of my favorite venues in town.
Mine too.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it great?
It's great. So we have about 2,000 people that join us for the superhero 5K, and the kids get invited to come dress as superheroes. And it's a really impactful event because in addition to your traditional 5K, there's a lot of kids who are battling cancer or have survived cancer that join us. So you'll see a bunch of families running around, and then you will see a child maybe that's bald who's currently undergoing treatment. And it's very emotionally impactful, I think, to be there, not just to raise money and to run a 5K, but it really is a family event.
We get to see why you're doing it too.
Yeah, we sure do. Oh, and we have a kids dash now too, which is really
you
cute
do?
for like the little ones.
Oh, yeah?
And they do. We started it last year, and it's like for the little toddler crew. So they get their own medal and their shirts, and so there's a kids dash, and there's an after party at the park. It's a beautiful, beautiful family event.
Yeah. And so how long does it go on?
It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody gets here a little bit early, around 7:30 to check in and register. It depends on how long it takes you to do a 5K. But it's usually, we usually are between
An hour?
between 8 and 11. And people come as guests also. You don't have to run the 5K.
Well, you can walk it too, right?
Yeah.
It's a run walk?
It's a run walk.
And is it timed?
It is. For the runners, it is a time.
Oh, well,
for the hardcore runners.
big.
It's a big hold to do for the runners.
If you want to get a group together, you get those hardcore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so after they run, I'm sure you have a lot of sponsors that help with bananas and all that stuff.
Well, our presenting sponsor, our title sponsor is Bean Automotive Group, that they have been like family for Live Like Bella. The 5K is actually called the Bean Automotive Group Superhero 5K, presented by Nicholas Children's Hospital. They were like surrounded in a sandwich of love by Bean Automotive Group and Nicholas Children's Hospital, who presents this every year, and a whole slew of sponsors around the community that have really embraced the mission and the work that we do. So those are.
So now, in order to sign up for this, they can go. You prefer that they do it online?
Yeah, livelikebella.org, and then when you click on the website, you'll see a pop-up that'll come out already, and you can register right there. It's super easy.
So you can do livelikebella.org/5K.
Not even. Just go to livelikebella.org and
it
and
takes you right there.
And you can build a team too, even if you don't want to run. Like, let's say somebody's out of town. You're like, oh, or I have my daughter's soccer game, I can't make it. You can still register as a virtual participant, even if you can't make it, and you can fundraise. Which is important because you can sign up and then share it with your friends on your social media and create your own team that if people can join you, great. And if not, they can contribute towards the mission.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And we said that's a busy day. So it's probably going to be a lot of people that say,
I hope so.
Oh, I'm going to this or that event. And
it's very Miami. Everybody RSVPs like the week of.
I know.
Like
it drives me nuts.
Nuts. Every time we sit down, I'm like, all right, how many people have registered?
I have an event tonight.
And have you RSVP'd yet?
Well, no. It's
it's your event.
Ringo Bingo with Stephen Bradley.
Oh, nice.
And that's how I found
formerly
out.
of Clutchburger,
that's how I was reintroduced to Live Like Bella through Stephen.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So, and he's at Vivo now. So, and then I have an event with him on Thursday.
Nice.
For the Women Voice Network.
Cool.
So there's so much going on in this city.
February's a fun month in Miami.
It is a fun month, yeah. So after the 5K, and do you have pictures of the 5K? Because we got some
we
stuff.
do. We've got actually some really great videos.
You want to?
There's a really good video. You should play it. Oh, look.
Oh, there you go.
Can we show this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have time to show it? Look, this is last year's 5K.
Right.
I don't know if you have audio
there. You go. Look.
Oh, look, you see, we had you saw that partner, the garbage truck. We have a partnership with Miami-Dade County Police, Miami-Dade County Fire, Solid Waste and Transportation. That last year we unveiled a couple of vehicles. Gold is the color of childhood cancer with a gold ribbon, and we really see a lot of advocacy in Miami-Dade County under the leadership of Chairman Anthony Rodriguez. Put together a whole entire
Anthony
campaign.
Rodriguez, love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. He put together a whole advocacy campaign where we wrapped 4 different vehicles in the community with a gold ribbon. And it was the first time that the county had done anything like that before. So they showed up at the 5K and they'll be there again this year.
Oh, look how good.
See, look, there's a little kids dash I told you. It was so cute.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Oh my gosh.
It was really good.
That's great.
So, and there's Bean Automotive Group. They're the runners. Oh, the medals are really cool this year. Every year we ask a child to help design the medal because, medals are like a big deal in this community.
Oh, yeah, right.
And this year, an 18-year-old girl who's been battling cancer designed it. And I can't unveil it now, but you'll see that it has her story. She loves to read books. So The medal has like books incorporated into the artwork is awesome.
Really?
One of the girls on our team works very
Wow.
closely with the kids to make sure that it's represented. Isn't that the cutest thing ever?
Gosh.
She's so cute. She was a cancer fighter as well.
Oh my
See,
gosh.
they're
These kids
yeah, see,
are
it's the
adorable.
superhero 5K. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to join us. It's a very, very special
Oh
event.
my gosh.
It's very cool.
I
That
feel
right
like
there is Bella's first cousin, actually, that believe it or not, thank God he's doing well, but he was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah. Last year, he designed our medal last year, and he's doing awesome. Thank
Oh,
God.
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
he's
God.
doing awesome. But see, look at last year's was really cool.
Oh yeah.
And this year's will be great as well. So
Oh,
hopefully
my
you can join us.
Yay.
So,
Well, that's great.
yeah.
I know I have stuff that I think I have 2 other events that day. But
Yeah, but this one's early. None of the
It's
other ones
early,
can be this
but-
early. Yeah.
you know, I've been known to do 4 events in a day.
I
so
believe it. I feel
I
you.
could get in
Get in
at
there.
6:30, get some pictures, and
And
go
roll
to my
out.
next event. Yeah. So then after that,
Hmm.
you're always having things going on,
Well, from
So-
an event
and
standpoint,
you've got a symposium and you have
Yep.
a gala,
so we have September's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
right?
And so that is sort of our Super Bowl time. We have, since I mentioned earlier, we are funding 66 clinical trials right now through
Mhm.
something called the Live Like Bella Pediatric Cancer Research Initiative.
Mhm.
So we created 5 years ago a research symposium that's held here in Miami that
Right.
we've invited researchers from around the country and recipients in the state of Florida to come together under one roof to talk about best practices. What are they
Right.
finding in their research and what's going on? So it's a full day symposium that takes place the day before Bella's ball. So the idea was to create a weekend to bring together brilliant minds and families to both of the events. Research symposiums are typically for researchers, right? You're
Right.
saying your
Yeah,
daughter's
right.
a
Yeah, it's a
genius researcher. But a lot of time researchers don't have access to families because unless you're an MD, you may be doing research on childhood cancer, but you may never ever met a child with cancer.
Exactly.
So the idea was to have a symposium that we talked about research, but we also opened the door to families so that they had a firsthand look at what's going on behind the scenes and what's being done to help cure childhood cancer. And then the following day, so this year the symposium is September 12th and the Bella's Ball is September 13th, which is an absolute blast. I know there's a gala in this town every weekend and they're all fantastic, but Bella's Ball is one of these that like, I've been to some balls that are really fancy. They're like at 10:30, everybody's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
At Bella's
right.
Ball every year, it's like, okay, it's 12:30. Can we extend it? Nobody leaves.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful night. And much like the 5K, it is full of families
Mhm.
who have battled cancer. It's very, very focused on why. I think it's very important when you go to all of
That's
these
nice.
events and you walk out of there, you're like, what did we come here for? And you'll never leave Bella's Ball wondering, why was I there? It's a beautiful, beautiful night.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can join us at both of us as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'd
that's
love
in
to.
September. And
Yeah.
along the way, there's always opportunities to get involved.
Yeah.
In May, we celebrate our anniversary. It's the anniversary of Bella's passing. So we always do things to honor her, specifically in the
Oh,
month of
really?
May.
Oh.
And then throughout the year, there's so many different ways that you can get involved in talent, time, and treasure, whether they be, we were talking about, I have a daughter who's a junior in high school. They started a Live Like Bella club at Our Lady of Lourdes Academy. And this
Oh, so
Thursday, for
nice.
example, at Chillin, they have, when you go to Chillin and mention Live Like Bella, they give proceeds back to the foundation. So there's things in the community that young people can do, that older
Mhm.
people can do.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of sitting down. Anytime somebody says to me like, hey, can I help? I'm like, yes, sit
Yes,
down.
you
I will
can.
find something for you to
Yeah.
do. So,
But you're absolutely right. You find kids, they'll come up with
oh yeah.
great ideas.
Yeah, they do.
I was talking about having a euchre tournament, or I don't know if you know it's a card game, but there's all kind of pickleball tournaments, that
Oh
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
I'm like the only
Those
person not
can-
playing pickleball. Do you play pickleball?
Yes, but I broke my hip and I had a lot of accidents last year, so I had to quit playing pickleball for a while.
no.
But I do want to start playing again. But I've got to figure out where I can play and that kind of thing. But
Tropical Park,
It's-
I think, has a pickleball court.
do they really?
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play.
No, I got to get a team together. Yeah, but and then there's so many events happening. It's hard to find time to play
It
pickleball.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I live in Doral, and we have
Okay.
a ton of parks there.
Yeah.
We have great parks there. Where do you live?
Great. Chrissy, I live just down the street from Community Newspapers. I'm in the city of South Miami,
Oh, perfect.
right by St. Augustine Catholic Church.
Oh,
in
sure.
that neighborhood.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and where do you play pickleball?
I don't. I'm telling
Oh,
you,
you
I'm the only
don't?
person
Oh,
in
you
Miami that doesn't drink espresso martinis or play pickleball. So it's like the two cool things.
It's
to do.
just
don't-
I know.
don't do
Well,
it.
It doesn't take much. We were laughing.
I have no coordination whatsoever.
We were talking. My daughter, my kids were just talking about learning how to play it. And I said the hardest thing on pickleball is to figure out the scoring, because it's
For me, the hardest thing is to
it's
show up.
crazy. No, the scoring is crazy but you have to learn how to play.
All right.
I'll play with you sometime.
All right, done.
We
Challenge
have to,
accepted.
challenge accepted.
Challenge
But then we'd have to find somebody that actually knows what they're doing,
I'm sure we can find
so they can
someone.
play. Yeah, so they can teach us. Well, I was going over Doral Central Park or whatever. There's a country club there, and they have people that were playing that were actually taking lessons.
Got it.
So then they taught the people that didn't have lessons. So
Got it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I got to find out what time that starts.
right. So learn to play pickleball, and then
Yeah.
we have a pickleball tournament.
All right, done.
We can probably get people that are already playing pickleball instead of doing it ourselves, because
Yeah.
we don't do it. But that could be a good fundraiser.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then we have to get you. I think we've done, the Coral Gables Women's Club does a monthly Gringo Bingo, and I
Fun.
think because we've done it since 2019, and I know that we've given money to Live Like Bella from the proceeds of one of our, because we used to change the charity
charity.
every month.
Oh, thank you. For
So
doing
one of the
that.
months we did that, but it was a long time ago. I have to go back in my records, but
Oh, I love that. Thank
yeah,
you.
but we should do that.
Yeah, I
We'll
would
have to
love
do
that.
that this year.
That would
Help
be
you
great.
guys out.
That'd
Yeah,
be great.
yeah. So what do you see happening with research? Do you have any new information?
Yeah, so actually, one of the most promising studies is actually taking place right here in South Florida at Florida International University in collaboration with Nicholas Children's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Diana Azam at FIU and then Dr. Maggie Fader at Nicholas Children's Hospital are working together on a study. It came out on Good Morning America on Fox News. It's received incredible coverage.
Really?
It was published on the cover of one of the top medical journals in the country, if not the world. And I'm not a researcher, so I may have to sort of dumb this down, but the study essentially takes children who have relapsed cancer, and the hospital, Dr. Maggie Fader with her team, removes a sample of tissue and sends it over to the lab at FIU. At the lab at FIU, Dr. Diana Azam takes the lead. They put the tissue in there, they mix it up, and they check FDA-approved drugs to see what's happening to the tumor.
No.
So they'll take things that you would never test on a child. For example, a prostate cancer drug, Claritin, a whole mix of everything from over-the-counter and behind-the-counter FDA-approved drugs. And using AI technology, they put together all different kinds of combinations, and they'll say, okay, look, this hit. Drug A plus Q plus C plus W with a dose of this, and this is showing promise. And because the drugs are FDA approved, the physicians are able to prescribe it right away to the children.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's shown 84% efficacy in children who have enrolled in the trial. So, I mean, we've seen kids.
That's exciting.
It's so exciting. There's a little boy named Logan that actually, his mom's name is Diana, and then there's Dr. Diana Azam, right? And Logan's one of the kids who was in the trial. And that's a perfect example because Dr. Azam, she's not a medical doctor, so she's never met any of the kids in the study.
Yeah.
But at the research symposium, since we opened it up to families, Dr. Diana Azam was presenting and Logan's mom was there. And there's like what we would call a science fair, but they're called a poster session. And Dr. Azam is standing in front of her poster during one of the breaks. And Logan's mom is walking around the room and she's looking at the poster. She goes, my son is patient number 13 in this trial. He was essentially home in hospice and he's back at school. And they would have never met.
Goodness.
So, this was one of those moments, and I'm a crier. I got very emotional.
right.
I said, this is the magic that is Live Like Bella. That's who Bella is. To bring together the research, to bring together the human side of everything, and put all of those people in the room together. So, I mean, there's so much going on. There is hope that there are good things in the pipeline. The Governor DeSantis appointed me to something called the BRAC, the Biomedical Research Advisory Council. It's a board essentially that operates to review submissions for pediatric cancer research and other types of cancers as well,
Right.
to see what is the latest and greatest and what the state of Florida should be investing in. So we just had our most recent meeting 2 weeks ago. So we have an additional group of trials that are being funded that the actual recipients don't know yet, but I do. And there's some really incredible work in the pipeline coming up. So there is, there is hope, but we have to keep working. There really just is not enough funding. Childhood cancer receives less than 4% of the national funding in cancer research, which is not acceptable. That's not the case in Florida because we fought hard for it. But if other states were doing the same thing that we're doing in Florida, it would be a game changer.
Well, my hat's off to you because that's it's God's work.
It is God's work.
Right.
And we have a very, I tell my team, I said, guys, you don't report into me and I don't report into the board of directors. We report into these families, and every decision that we make here every day, we have to make sure that it's for the good of the patient. And we ask ourselves not what is good for the foundation, not what's good for the board, not what's good for us, but what is good for these kids. And that is our MO. And I have the most passionate team in the history of passionate teams that everybody has fallen in love with the work. Because this is not a full-time job. This is not a part-time job. This is an all-the-time job. And Live Like Bella team is pretty awesome. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What a wonderful group of people that you must be working with.
I am.
And FIU, they're pretty amazing, aren't they?
I've never been more proud to be an alum of FIU. The work.
Well, I have two alums now because my oldest one got her PhD there.
Wow.
But she's a Gator, but then she got a PhD. And the youngest one graduated. So I have two FIU alums.
Nice. We should be very proud to have FIU in our backyard.
Amazing.
It's a heck of a university.
And to think that they started their medical school just a handful of years ago, it seems like. When was it? I don't even know.
No, it was the other day.
Just yeah. So So that said, when you bring everybody to Miami for the symposium, how do you have obviously contacts globally? Yeah. So do you get people to come from just literally all over the world?
Yeah, we get people to come literally all over the world.
And do you make it into you've got a symposium and a gala, but what else do you include while they're here? Do you take them on side trips to hospitals and that kind of stuff? Or
I mean, it depends.
Have you thought about that?
I think the idea of putting it all together in September, there's always stuff going on. Like, for example, a couple of years ago, we were in Tallahassee that same week lighting up the state capitol in gold, which is the color of childhood cancer. So there's always stuff going on. The different people who come to speak at the symposium, it's a full day panel on different topics.
Okay.
But we try to make it engaging and bring people on the stage. It's not just about Live Like Bella, but other fellow foundations who are working towards the same thing. This year, we had folks from the Ronald McDonald House. Last year, from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, from Family Reach out of Boston. Because this isn't a space where people can compete and say, well, that's your foundation, my foundation, your institution, my institution. And that happens, right, in any industry or space. But I think what we've done really well is to bring people in to say, it doesn't matter where you're working or what you're doing, we have to do this together because this population isn't large enough for us to be competing. And we've had the privilege to sort of serve as Switzerland there to bring everybody together. Do they do site visits and stuff? I hope so. I mean, I know we had a great physician come last year from Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and CHOP's one of the top, children's hospitals in the country. Right. We have a bunch of folks. I know you said you had a Gator that come from the University of Florida. They have over 20 trials being funded by the Live Like Bella initiative. So we got some good Gators in town.
They do.
Yeah. So I hope they're taking advantage of being here in September. It's warm, but we got a lot of good stuff going.
Yeah. So you went to school in, did I see Massachusetts?
No.
Where was it?
I went to FIU.
You went to FIU, but where did I see Massachusetts?
No, just on vacation last spring break. No, I did. I went to school. I did my freshman year of college in Italy.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was it. It was Italy. Yeah. Not a bad place to.
No, I speak Italian. That's like the one cool trick. I don't play pickleball, but I speak Italian.
Well, I was trying. I for a year I did Duolingo.
Oh yeah.
I took it in college, so I had a base, but then I've completely forgotten it because once I broke my hip, I
you just need a trip to Italy and that'll help.
I know.
Get you back in the
immersion. Yeah. But I speak Spanish, so there's that.
Easy, easy.
So you're not going to believe it. Our time is up.
Oh no!
Told you it goes really quick.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Are you kidding?
I love the work that we do, and if not us, then who?
Yeah, you know
I really
what?
Appreciate the time.
Well, you're definitely an inspiration to us all, and I thank you for all you're doing for these wonderful children who, through no fault of their own, are suffering, and God bless them all. And
we owe them. We will.
Yeah. So, again, thank you, South Florida PBS, for sponsoring. And don't forget, join and go see the Da Vinci exhibit. It's in Boynton Beach, and it's
I
not.
want to go.
Yeah, no, it's really you'll really love it,
in.
and it's a great. Take the kids.
Well, I'll see you at the 5K first, so hopefully you'll join.
Let's see if I can get there.
Oh, come on.
Let's see how many things I can do.
No, Saturday, February 8th, 8 o'clock, Tropical Park.
No, I'm going to be there earlier than that. I'm going to be there.
Come on,
at
I'll have
7.
cafecito with you early.
Oh, okay.
Done. I'll be there.
I'll come early.
Done.
Okay, done.
Love it.
Okay. All right. So again, thank you again for
Gloria.
coming. And
very
to our viewers, thank you for joining us today. And come to the 5K.
Thank you.
Until